The Sopranos' Road to Respect on PlayStation 2 is a third-person action game that puts you deep into the gritty, violent world of the iconic HBO Mafia series. Set between seasons 5 and 6 of the show, you play as Joey LaRocca, the illegitimate son of Sal Bonpensiero, trying to earn his place in the Soprano crime family. What follows is a mix of street fights, shady jobs, and brutal choices. The story unfolds like a lost season of the show, complete with moral dilemmas, mob politics, and bloody consequences. Tony Soprano himself sends Joey on missions to collect debts, intimidate rivals, and clean up problems by any means necessary. The game includes voice acting from the original cast, including James Gandolfini, giving it an authentic Sopranos atmosphere. Gameplay focuses on hand-to-hand combat and basic third-person exploration. You'll punch, kick, and slam your enemies in simple but satisfying brawls. Missions usually involve going to a location, handling business, and getting out, whether that means breaking someone's nose or hiding a body. While not open world, the game features familiar spots like the Bada Bing Club, Satrial's Pork Store, and backroom deals in New Jersey alleyways. The visuals stay true to the show's tone, with realistic characters and grimy environments. The soundtrack features a mix of mob-themed music and ambient tension, matching the series' cinematic style. While the gameplay is relatively simple, the story, setting, and characters make it feel like you're playing through a Sopranos episode. Fun facts: Road to Respect was developed by 7 Studios and released in 2006 exclusively for PS2. It's the only official Sopranos video game ever made. The game was praised for its authentic writing and cast, but criticized for its repetitive gameplay. Despite that, it's a hidden gem for fans of the series and remains a curiosity in the world of licensed Mafia games. 24. The game on PlayStation 2 is a third-person action title based on the hit TV series 24, placing you in the shoes of Jack Bauer and other CTU agents during an intense day of terrorist threats and political intrigue. Set between seasons 2 and 3 of the show, the game tells a completely original story, with full voice acting from the main cast, delivering an authentic 24 experience. The story unfolds hour by hour, just like in the series, with overlapping plot lines involving bomb threats, assassinations, and double crosses. You'll switch between multiple playable characters, including Jack Bauer, Tony Almeida, and Chloe O'Brien, as they work to stop a new wave of coordinated attacks threatening national security. Gameplay blends third-person shooting, stealth, driving, and mini-games like interrogation and hacking. Gunfights are frequent and intense, with a cover system and a focus on accuracy and quick reflexes. Each mission feels like an episode of the show, fast-paced, cinematic, and full of dramatic twists. You also complete timed objectives and face moral choices in key moments. Visually, 24. The game features detailed character models that resemble the actors, real-time split-screen effects, and stylized transitions that mirror the show's signature presentation. The cutscenes are fully voiced and motion captured, adding to the immersion. The game also features an original score that fits right into the tense atmosphere of the 24 universe. Fun facts: 24 the game was developed by Sony's Cambridge studio and released in 2006. The script was written by the show's writers, and all major cast members, including Kiefer Sutherland, lent their voices and likenesses. It's the only 24 video game ever made and is considered canon within the series timeline, filling in key narrative gaps between seasons. The X-Files Resist or Serve on PlayStation 2 is a third-person survival horror game that plunges players into a dark, atmospheric adventure alongside FBI agents Fox Mulder and Dana Scully. Set during the 7th season of the iconic sci-fi series, the game feels like a lost set of episodes, blending classic X-Files storytelling with Resident Evil-style gameplay. The game is split into 3 interconnected episodes, starting with a mysterious murder in a small Colorado town. Things quickly spiral into the paranormal as Mulder and Scully uncover a government conspiracy, alien influences, and a deadly zombie outbreak. You can play as either agent, with each path offering unique scenes, puzzles, and dialogue. Gameplay mixes exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. Players must investigate crime scenes, collect clues, and fight off supernatural enemies. Mulder leans into action and investigation, while Scully handles autopsies and scientific analysis. Ammo is scarce, and tension builds through fixed camera angles and eerie music clearly inspired by classic survival horror titles. Visually, the game captures the moody tone of the series, with dark lighting, cold environments, and detailed character models based on the actors. The voice work is a major highlight, with David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson reprising their roles. Cutscenes and dialogue closely resemble the pacing and feel of the TV show, complete with government secrets and alien menace. Fun Facts Resist or Serve was developed by Black Ops Entertainment and released in 2004. It was originally meant to release alongside the show's 8th season, but was delayed. The game includes references to major X-Files lore and features an original script written by the show's writers. It remains the only true survival horror take on the X-Files, and a cult favorite among fans. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds on PlayStation 2 is a third-person action beat-em-up based on the hit TV series. Set during the show's 5th season, the game follows Buffy and the rest of the Scooby Gang as they face off against a demonic force threatening to merge alternate dimensions. Packed with fast-paced combat, dark humor, and vampire slaying action, it's a love letter to fans of the series. The story begins when an evil entity known as the First starts tearing holes between realities. Buffy, along with Willow, Xander, Spike, and Faith, must fight through hordes of supernatural enemies to stop the apocalypse again. The game features an original narrative written in collaboration with the show's writers, complete with witty banter and dramatic cutscenes. Gameplay centers on melee combat with light puzzles and exploration. Players can control 6 different characters, each with unique fighting styles and abilities. Buffy is agile and strong. Spike brawls with raw power, while Willow uses magic for ranged attacks. The combat system includes combos, finishers, weapons like stakes and axes, and even holy water for stylish vampire takedowns. The game faithfully recreates the show's locations, from the Sunnydale Cemetery to the Magic Box. Voice acting from much of the original cast adds to the authenticity, and the spooky soundtrack helps set the tone. In addition to the main story, Chaos Bleeds includes a fun multiplayer mode, where players can face off as heroes or monsters in various arenas. Fun facts: Chaos Bleeds was developed by Eurocom and released in 2003. It serves as a lost episode of the series, and is considered part of Buffy's extended universe. The game includes a behind-the-scenes documentary, comic book extras, and even appearances by classic villains like Kakistos and Ethan Rayne. It's widely regarded as one of the better TV-to-game adaptations of the PS2 era. Starsky Hutch on PlayStation 2 is an arcade-style driving and shooting game based on the classic 1970s buddy cop TV series. The game puts you behind the wheel of Starsky's iconic red Ford Gran Torino as you chase down criminals through the streets of Bay City. With stylized action, over-the-top car chases, and retro flair, it perfectly captures the feel of vintage cop drama. The game features a full story mode presented like episodes of the TV show, complete with voiceover intros, commercial breaks, and dramatic cliffhangers. You'll play through a series of missions involving high-speed pursuits, shootouts, and timed objectives. Whether you're taking down drug smugglers or stopping bank robbers, the pace is fast and chaotic. Gameplay is unique in that it's built for 2-player co-op. One player drives while the other shoots. Solo players can switch between roles or let the AI handle one. As you race through the city, you'll smash through obstacles, jump ramps, and light up targets with Starsky's pistol. Style points are awarded for flashy moves, adding a score-chasing element to the chaos. Visually, Starsky and Hutch has a fun, colorful look with exaggerated car physics and 70s-inspired aesthetics. The game includes authentic music and sound effects, along with voice lines from the original cast, adding nostalgia for longtime fans. The environments are large, open, and filled with destructible elements that make every chase exciting and unpredictable. Fun facts: Starsky and Hutch was developed by Mind's Eye Productions and released in 2003. It can be played with a light gun or even a steering wheel for added immersion. The game uses a viewer rating mechanic where performing cool stunts boosts your score, mimicking TV show popularity. It's one of the rare games that blends driving and rail shooter elements into a single, retro-themed package. CSI Crime Scene Investigation 3 Dimensions of Murder on PlayStation 2 is a forensic crime-solving adventure game based on the hit TV series. You join the Las Vegas Crime Lab team, working alongside characters like Grissom, Catherine, and Warwick, as you investigate a series of chilling murders. The gameplay emphasizes logic, observation, and evidence gathering over action. The story unfolds across 5 unique cases, each with its own suspects, motives, and twists. Players must carefully examine crime scenes, question witnesses, collect clues, and piece together timelines to solve complex investigations. The cases escalate in intensity and are connected by a larger, overarching narrative that ties them together by the game's end. Gameplay involves navigating crime scenes in 3D environments, using tools like fingerprint kits, luminol spray, and DNA analyzers. You'll need to analyze evidence in the lab and match it to suspects to build a solid case. The interface is intuitive, and each case rewards attention to detail, pushing you to think like a real CSI agent. Visually, the game reflects the clean, clinical tone of the show, with realistic character models and environments. Voice acting from the actual cast enhances immersion, and the atmospheric music adds tension as you piece together the puzzle. The game avoids gore, focusing instead on realism and deductive reasoning to deliver satisfying investigative gameplay. Fun facts: 3 Dimensions of Murder was developed by Telltale Games and released on PS2 in 2006, marking the series' first 3D entry. While originally a PC title, the PS2 version was adapted to work with a controller-friendly interface. The game includes appearances from the main cast of the original CSI series and paved the way for future crime-solving games like LA Noire. Alias on PlayStation 2 is a third-person stealth action game based on the hit TV series starring Jennifer Garner as CIA double agent Sydney Bristow. Set during the second season of the show, the game delivers a mix of espionage, stealth, and intense hand-to-hand combat as players take on missions across the globe. It's a spy thriller brought to life with authentic style and high stakes. The story, written by the show's creators, plays out like a Lost Season episode. Sydney travels to exotic locations like Monte Carlo, Saudi Arabia, and Rio de Janeiro as she infiltrates enemy compounds, gathers intel, and uncovers a global conspiracy tied to the mysterious Rambaldi artifacts. Along the way, she must balance her double life while staying one step ahead of deadly foes. Gameplay emphasizes stealth and strategy over brute force. Sydney can sneak past guards, disable security systems, pick locks, and use gadgets like EMP grenades and mini cameras. When things get loud, she can fight using a slick martial arts system that includes combos, throws, and stealth takedowns. The game also features light puzzle solving and timed objectives. Visually, Alias captures the sleek, high-tech style of the show, with cinematic cutscenes and voice acting by the original cast, including Jennifer Garner. Missions are fast-paced and varied, and each environment is detailed to match the global espionage theme. The music, suspenseful and moody, keeps the tension high throughout. Fun facts: Alias was developed by Acclaim Studios and released in 2004, with its plot considered canon to the series. It features a completely original storyline set between specific TV episodes. The game's martial arts system was choreographed with input from the show's stunt team, and many levels are based on locations seen in the series. It remains a hidden gem among licensed games of the PS2 era. Knight Rider. The game on PlayStation 2 is a mission-based driving adventure inspired by the iconic 1980s TV series. You play as Michael Knight, a crime fighter who, with the help of his high-tech, talking car kit, takes on dangerous missions to stop evil organizations and rogue technology. The game captures the feel of the series, combining action, stealth, and futuristic flair. The story unfolds across 15 missions, each tied to a broader plot involving thefts, terrorism, and advanced AI threats. You'll race through city streets, deserts, and secret bases while pursuing suspects, tailing vehicles, or hacking security systems. The narrative blends episodic pacing with an overarching plot that feels like a lost season of the show. Gameplay revolves around controlling Kit, using his wide range of special abilities from turbo boost jumps and ski mode to infrared vision and scanning systems. The car handles smoothly, and missions vary between timed challenges, stealth chases, and high-speed pursuits. You'll need to use both speed and strategy to succeed. Visually, the game reflects the show's aesthetic, with futuristic menus, neon effects, and detailed car models. Kit's voice is present throughout the missions, offering commentary and guidance. The soundtrack includes synth-heavy themes reminiscent of the original score, and cutscenes are delivered in a cinematic style. Fun facts: Knight Rider the game was developed by Davalex Games and released in 2004. While it received mixed reviews, fans of the show appreciated the faithful recreation of Kit and the inclusion of iconic features like the voice scanner and turbo boost. The game even includes a few storylines inspired directly by specific TV episodes, making it a nostalgic trip for longtime fans. The Shield. The game on PlayStation 2 is a gritty third-person action shooter based on the award-winning TV series The Shield. You step into the role of Detective Vic Mackey, head of an elite but corrupt anti-gang task force in Los Angeles. The game delivers a dark, intense narrative filled with crime, moral ambiguity, and the constant pressure of keeping your secrets hidden. Set between seasons 3 and 4 of the show, the game follows Mackey and his strike team as they take down gang leaders, drug dealers, and violent criminals while trying to keep their own illegal activities under wraps. Your actions during missions affect how much heat you draw from internal affairs, creating a balance between justice and self-preservation. Gameplay combines cover-based shooting, stealth, and tactical decision-making. You'll raid gang houses, interrogate suspects, and confiscate weapons and drugs, sometimes for evidence, sometimes for your own gain. You can intimidate witnesses, bend the rules, or go full rogue, but everything has consequences. Each mission has multiple paths and moral choices. Visually, the game captures the raw, urban style of the TV series, with gritty environments like alleyways, warehouses, and rundown neighborhoods. Michael Chiklis voices Vic Mackey, adding authenticity, and the overall tone stays true to the show tense, violent, and morally complex. The soundtrack includes intense crime drama music that adds to the pressure. Fun facts: The Shield. The game was developed by Point of View and released in 2007, shortly before the show's final season. Though not a blockbuster hit, it became a cult favorite among fans for its faithful adaptation of the series. The story was created with input from the show's writers, making it canon within the Shield universe. It remains one of the few TV-to-game adaptations that fully embraces its show's dark tone. The Dukes of Hazzard Return of the General Lee on PlayStation 2 is an open-world driving action game based on the classic 1980s TV show. Players take on the role of Bo and Luke Duke as they race through Hazzard County in their iconic Dodge Charger, the General Lee, trying to foil Boss Hogg's latest corrupt scheme. With wild jumps, dirt road drifts, and southern charm, it brings the show's spirit to life. The story is original but faithful to the series, featuring a mix of racing, stunts, and light-hearted missions. From outrunning Roscoe P. Coltrane to saving the local orphanage from foreclosure, every mission feels like a TV episode. Dialogue and cutscenes are full of that familiar country humor, and Daisy, Uncle Jesse, and Cooter all make appearances. Gameplay focuses on fast, arcade-style driving with a heavy emphasis on stunts. You'll complete objectives like chasing down bad guys, collecting hidden items, and performing signature jumps. The General Lee handles with a mix of tight steering and wild physics, letting you tear across back roads, fields, and towns with flair. The game features a large, free roam version of Hazzard County to explore, complete with landmarks from the show. Visually, it uses bright colors and exaggerated style to match the fun tone of the series. Voice acting by members of the original cast helps make the world feel authentic, and the country rock soundtrack adds energy to the high-speed action. Fun facts: Return of the General Lee was developed by Ratbag Games and released in 2004 exclusively for PS2. It was the final Dukes of Hazzard game and serves as a spiritual successor to the earlier PS1 titles. While not a critical hit, fans loved its charm and attention to detail. The game even lets you honk the General Lee's famous Dixie horn as you fly over ramps.
Thanks for watching.